Have you ever wondered why, when you go out, you have to take this and this? Well, I think we'll all agree that this device can do just about everything. You see, the world has gone digital, and our cell phones can take care of just about every single aspect of our lives. Bar one, finances. Finances haven't yet gone digital. To a certain extent, you might argue that they have. But it is fundamentally important that we understand that we take two separate devices. And the reason for that is because we are still working in an old, outdated, illogical financial system, which forces us to take the second option wherever we go. Good morning, everybody. We're going to get into cryptocurrency, mass adoption, and how finances going digital are going to change everything we know about finances. And I'd like to ask you to forgive me for stating the obvious about finances. But so many people in this time are giving up on cryptocurrencies. They're thinking, is it still around? I mean, it's been quite quiet. We haven't seen these explosive pumps that we've kind of got used to in the cryptocurrency market. And the only reason that we constantly see these huge explosive pumps is because we are looking at a technology which is being adopted by the human race as we speak. And as soon as that sort of settles down and gets quiet, people forget about it. And the obvious thing right here is that cryptocurrency is exploding. I'm sure we're all getting tired of being told that it's like the internet was in the 1990s. But think about it, the internet. The reason that we take this device out that controls every aspect of our life. In the words of Gary Vee, this is the remote to our lives. Now, when you tell people it's the remote to their lives, they don't like it because they don't want to be governed or controlled by a phone. But we know that it's an alarm clock, it's a watch, it's a phone, it's a communication device, it's an entertainment device, it's a camera. It caters for every single aspect of our life. If we want to order food, we do it on our cell phone. If we want to buy something, we do it on our cell phone. If we want information, we do it on our cell phone. If we want to watch or be entertained, we do it on our cell phone. A lot of you are possibly watching this video on your cell phone. And yet, when we want to go and buy something, we take our wallet so that we can buy something. And that is about to change. Governments have given us a financial system that's illogical and doesn't work, and they haven't let that go into the digital space because they never will. So what has happened is the people have developed a financial system outside of the government, and that is going to be the financial system of the future. That is going to be the financial system that moves into this digital space that we're all getting very, very familiar with. And then it will be, my grandfather used to have a wallet. Let's just take a simple example. If you take photography, a lot of people said photography will never go digital because there's film and printed photographs. How could that go digital? But what happened is we adapted the entire photographic industry so that it would fit into the digital realm. And now printed photos and film and darkrooms seem like a very antiquated way of actually taking photos. Everything is digital. And without laboring the point too much, the same is going to happen with finances. Let's just talk about some of this adoption so that we can get a brief idea of what is actually happening. I think it's obvious to everyone, every time you open cryptocurrency news or you read about cryptocurrency, specifically if you're in the crypto space, but now it's got to the point where even if you're not in the crypto space, you hear adoption stories. Let's talk about the three financial giants. We've got Visa, we've got MasterCard, we've got PayPal. I'm just mentioning some random ones. But all of them initially shunned cryptocurrency. They shunned it and they didn't want to get involved. But they've all since done a 180 turnaround and adopted cryptocurrency, allowed cryptocurrency. With PayPal, you can buy cryptocurrency right in the app. Visa and MasterCard, you can spend your cryptocurrency balances if you are linked to many exchanges. And this type of trend is just continuing. I mean, we've even got Visa buying NFTs to show that they are friendly to this new evolving digital space. Let's talk about countries. Initially, all countries were not keen on cryptocurrency because they lost the control. Then we had the pillars starting to fall, with El Salvador being the biggest one. El Salvador accepting cryptocurrency as legal tender, openly coming out and acknowledging that the dollar and the traditional fiat system has failed not only the country but the citizens, and they are in such a desperate state that they're looking to adopt new technology. A lot of the world powers actually writing to El Salvador and saying that they need to cease taking Bitcoin as legal tender. It is going to cause financial instability for the current economic system. And that is certainly true. It is going to cause that. But El Salvador, being desperate, being poor, got nothing to lose, and they are now adopting it fully. And we're going to see a transfer of wealth as the new technology gets adopted. And it's going to put El Salvador as a country in a very, very strong position. Miami, the mayor of Miami, we all know, is very bullish on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. In fact, he is receiving his full salary in cryptocurrency paid by the state. Now, that in itself is a milestone and is something that needs to be considered as a huge adoption story for Bitcoin. And we've got Russia. Russia unsure what to do in this digital space. Initially trying to ban crypto, then making it legal, then banning it. And now we see that Russia has actually come out and said that the Russian government and central bank agreed to treat cryptocurrencies as currency, not even crypto assets. What we've seen throughout the world is a lot of countries, including South Africa, saying it is not a currency, it is a digital asset. South African government, the Reserve Bank, everyone very, very determined to call it a digital asset and making sure that it is not referred to as a currency. Now we're seeing the pillars fall in this as well. Russia saying cryptos as currency. You see, the problem is, and what I foresee is a lot more countries coming out and starting to classify crypto as currencies, because quite honestly, they have no choice. To enable these countries and the governments to have full legal leverage over this, they need to name it a currency. They need to call it what it is. So it's going to be interesting to see if this prediction of mine is right, and we're going to see more and more countries starting to classify digital assets as cryptocurrencies. SARS is not able to really pull and use digital assets to gain wealth as they would be able to do cryptocurrencies. To give you an example, right now, SARS and the governments all over the world have got a reasonably strong hold over cryptocurrencies because they first have to be cashed out into the traditional fiat system before they can actually be spent in the real world. And that cashing out process is a bridge where they can tax. But as Bitcoin and cryptocurrency become more and more accepted, in other words, you never have to cash out. You can buy goods, services, properties, whatever you need right in the native digital currencies. So in other words, you can spend Bitcoin and buy whatever you need. You're going to have to classify it as a currency. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to tax it because it's a barter trade, which I know you could argue is taxable, but you always have to go back to traditional fiat. And it's just going to become more and more complex when we start moving out of the traditional financial system, going back to a legacy financial system to determine the value. The value is going to start to be determined in cryptocurrencies. Celebrities, and we all love celebrities, and we know that they normally get onto a trend when it is something that is going to go mainstream and is going to absolutely explode. We've seen celebrities adopting NFTs every single day. We've got, the other day I was just on Twitter and I saw Serena Williams had a CryptoPunk, which is a really expensive NFT, a couple of million South African rands for the cheapest CryptoPunk, 3 or 4 million rand. She had that as her profile picture. We've seen Snoop Dogg embracing not only NFTs, but the metaverse. He's actually got he's got land in Sandbox, and a lot of people spending astronomical amounts of money just to become his neighbors and to buy digital land. We've also seen Gary Vee, along with a lot of other celebrities, not only buying NFTs, but actually creating their own NFT collections. So on all fronts, we are seeing this attack. And it's not a violent attack. It's a peaceful attack. It's a upgrade attack on the traditional fiat system, because this traditional fiat system historically has been in place, and it has allowed the government to control and manipulate the power base that they have, instead of allowing the government to be in a position where they serve us. In addition to that, it's always kept the poor and has looked after the rich, and made it not impossible, but extremely difficult for anyone to move classes. So in other words, whatever class you were born into with the traditional financial system, very few people manage to move out of that class into a higher class. And that is oppressive. And with the new world and the new financial system, we are going to see that digital assets that don't lose their value are going to change the world. They're going to make a more even playing field, and it's going to allow ambitious, hardworking people to change classes. Well, at least that's my opinion, and that could be a debate on itself, but it is absolutely changing the entire system that we've all learned and grown up with. One other thing, which, if all these other adoption stories don't excite you, is something that is massive, and it's obvious, and a lot of people don't put it into context. Binance has gone and bought a $200 million stake in Forbes. Forbes, arguably one of the biggest financial publications in the world, right? And now the biggest cryptocurrency exchange in the world has gone and bought a substantial stake in Forbes. So why is this so important, and what does this really mean? This means that a cryptocurrency exchange that is extremely bullish on cryptocurrency, and to a certain extent their mission is to bring cryptocurrency to the people, is now going to have a voice in one of the biggest financial publications. And I think anyone can understand that that voice is going to be to bring crypto mainstream, to explain to the masses, to planet Earth, that cryptocurrency is a very serious financial instrument. And that, if you take a second to think about it, the narrative that has always been pushed by Forbes, which hasn't always been crypto friendly, is going to change over the weeks and months to come. And people are going to start accepting and understanding cryptocurrencies. It is going to become mainstream. And we are going to adapt this old financial system to the new electronic system. And very soon, this device, which is laughable that people even call it a cell phone, because a phone is one of the tiny functions that it does, but that device is going to take over. Finance is going to be entrenched in that device. We're going to no longer be carrying wallets. Guys, don't give up on cryptocurrency. It is absolutely irresponsible to not have cryptocurrency in your portfolio. We've got Altcoin Trader, that is an easy to use South African crypto exchange where you can start creating a portfolio for basically as little as you want. A lot of people saying they can't afford to buy crypto. You could start with 200 Rand a month, 100 Rand a month, and just get involved, get a crypto portfolio, because this video, I hope, has clearly explained that cryptocurrency, this new financial world, is at the precipice of mass adoption, and missing out on it is absolute insanity. Guys, if you like the content that I bring you, I ask you to smash the like button, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell, and I will see you next week. That's it from me. I'm out.